Hi guys, this is Lucas Miller, and I'm here to talk about one of my all-time favorite television shows, Touched by an Angel, what the show does well, and what I would have done differently had I been the architect instead of Martha Williamson. Before I talk about what the show needed, I want to make something very clear. I love the show way down to the bottom of my heart. It's one of my all-time favorites. It does a great job illustrating the concept of a spiritual battle, the struggle that's not against flesh and blood that Paul talked about in Ephesians. It does a great job in illustrating how the angels, Monica, Tess, Andrew, Gloria, have their quirks or their eccentricities, and they also have their struggles to work through, even though they are angels. Even though they are angels, they're sent from God to minister to people. Sometimes they get discouraged or their faith gets shaken or they're put to the test. So it makes them feel more realistic. There are no one-dimensional characters here. Like the episode where Monica goes into the desert to be tempted by Satan in Netherlands. That's one of the very best episodes, by the way. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a really, really great one. And the show also does a great job with the recurring theme that faith and family can get you through almost anything, and that for every little bit of suffering and hurt in this world, there is peace and healing in the arms of the Father if you are willing to embrace it. You see lots of episodes where the angels have to go visit people who have been through some sort of tragedy or hurt or hang up, and they show them what they need to do to heal. That they don't have to be defined by what happened to them in the past. They can learn to forgive the people who have wronged them and to forgive themselves as well. It would be heartless to ignore all the fine points this show has going for it. However, there are a few things I wish were different, and feel free to discuss them in the comment section below if you like. Number one, what would I have done different? Number one, and this is the biggie right here. Lots of people agree with me on this one. So if you've seen this show, I think you know where this is headed. Number one, what would I have done different? Mention of, wait for it. Mention of, that's right, mention of Jesus Christ. For a show that is supposedly Christian themed and Christian based, it lacked any mention of the primary character. I don't know why Martha Williamson did this, but for her to profess to be a Christian and then leave out any mention of Jesus Christ in her show is more than a little odd, because according to the basic precepts of Christianity, the only way to the Father is through the Son. There were a few references to God the Son every now and then, like the baptismal scene in Shallow Water, and when a little boy reads the Christmas story to his family in the violin lesson. But those references were very vague and brief, and the show didn't dwell on that. There was an episode, though, at the very end where Jesus does show up as a mysterious stranger in disguise who visits a sleepy town that makes a difference in the lives of lots of people who have been impacted by a tragedy. They never say it's him, but it is heavily implied that that's who this character is. That's another really great episode, and it was the perfect way to end the show. I'll walk with you. So check that one out as well after you're finished with the rest of the show. It was the perfect way to end it, and one of the very finest, in my opinion. But still, Jesus shouldn't have been just alluded to once in a while. He should have been mentioned all the time. So that's the first thing I would have done different if I had been in charge of the show. Mention of Jesus Christ. Number two, what would I have done? Failure endings. I think there should have been endings where the people prove to be too much for the angels, and the angels just have to give up and let the chips fall. This would emphasize how some people are so hard of heart that not even a supernatural experience would shake them. There are 2 episodes that do illustrate this. Minute by Minute is one, Legacy is another. But if you had never seen those 2 episodes, you'd think the show never addressed the subject. The show goes on for 9 seasons and has about 600 episodes, and there's only 2 episodes to show people being too hard-hearted to listen to the angels. I think they should have shown this a lot more, just to keep it more realistic to human nature, instead of having the people choose to do the right thing 98% of the time after the angels witness to them. Number 3, people dying and ending up lost. They do mention hell once in a while as the place where the unrepentant go after death, like the scene in The Birthday Present where Andrew is talking to Gloria in the car. But just as there were episodes of Andrew escorting the saved souls through a door filled with light, there should have been episodes of demons showing up, dragging the lost souls into a door filled with darkness and smoke, to emphasize how God is a just God. The day of repentance is now, and no one has a promise of tomorrow. There are 2 episodes that show someone dying and going to hell, Beautiful Dreamer and Into the Fire. But once again, that's only 2 episodes in an entire series. I think they should have shown this a little more often, just to get the point across. Number 4. I would have written Monica to be a much younger angel in the beginning. A much younger angel than Tess and Andrew, because she and Tess have a student-master dynamic like a student and master Jedi in Star Wars. Monica comes across as a bit naive and sometimes even clumsy or scatterbrained. Sometimes she flunks at her assignments and she has to do them over and over again. She has to ask God to forgive her and show her what to do to get through to the people that she goes to witness to. And Tess helps her with what she needs improvement. She praises her sometimes and chastises her sometimes as well. Well, actually, more than a little. She does a lot of chastising, but that's part of the charm of Tess's character, her cantankerous side. But my point is, there were episodes where Monica mentioned she's been around since the flood, the Great Rebellion, and the first Christmas. And if Monica's been around that long, she would be an older, wiser angel like Tess and Andrew. So if they were going to portray her as a student angel who's inexperienced and grows over the seasons, they should have had her be a much younger angel in the beginning. Or maybe a newly created angel in the beginning, like Gloria when we first see Gloria. Number 5, what would I have done different? I think I would have had the angels keep their identities secret most of the time and only reveal themselves once in a while. Because with all the episodes of the angels revealing themselves to the people, glowing and saying, I am an angel, and the climaxes, it feels like the people are living in the Bible times instead of 20th and 21st century America. And of course, one of the basic precepts of Christianity is the concept of walking by faith instead of sight. I would have had Monica, Tess, Andrew, and Gloria keep their identity secret most of the time, but then reveal themselves once in a while. And that way, when there is an episode where they reveal themselves, those episodes would feel a little more special, and it would add some more shading and color to the narrative. Make no mistake, I still love this show, and if I didn't love it, I wouldn't take the time to analyze and criticize it. Despite my quibbles, it is still a classic with class. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you all.